It's Scola and welcome to Motivation Monday. So today's topic is going to be on restricting, binging and purging. If you have an eating disorder or you're recovering from one or you had one in the past, even if you don't feel mentally comfortable with food, I just suggest you don't watch this video. I don't know about you guys, but for me, sometimes random things can trigger me to do unhealthy habits. So if you do feel like you could be triggered by this video, just don't watch it. If you get triggered, don't, because I'll be telling my story and stuff like that. So stay safe. I've avoided doing this video on my channel for a very long time because I didn't know how to really make it in a way that would truly help you guys. Simply because I feel like if I spoke on this topic, it would actually introduce you guys to something that you may have not known about before. And because that's just what happened to me when I was younger. I didn't know about restricting or binging or purging, and I got introduced to it, and I feel like it was partly what triggered me into doing it. But at the same time, if I'd had a positive message telling me not to do it, then that would have been hugely helpful, because you're gonna stumble upon these things anyway, but it's always good to have a positive message out there, which is why I decided to make this video. Also, I have something super exciting and super cute to show you guys, and it also kind of ties in with this video as well. So I actually posted a picture of this on Instagram and Snapchat as well. So it's this bracelet that just says stay healthy. I hope you can see that. Oh, says stay healthy, has the little elephant logo, which is my logo, and then it says stay luscious, because you know we gotta stay luscious out here. It's really cool because it's not only a little bracelet, but it's also a hairband, which I was super excited about because I always break my hairbands, and these are the perfect hairbands because you just tie them and they stay so secure and they're so thick, it's not gonna snap when you try and tie up to your braids and stuff like that. So the reason why I decided to get this was because a long time ago through my weight loss journey, I actually came across this little fad that was going on where girls would wear elastic bands around their wrist, and whenever they felt like binging, they have any cravings, or they were just feeling lazy or anything like that, they would basically inflict self-harm, basically, because they would ping the elastic band to stop them from doing that. This is something I got sucked into as well, and it was just such a negative habit to actually do, and it was just disgusting. And I'm glad I quickly realized how horrible that was. It was a very dark time anyway, but then I'm just so happy to have something so positive on my wrist. I've seen a lot of people who have bracelets and wristbands that, you know, help them stay positive and stuff, so I was super excited about this because it just reminds me of how far I've come from that dark time, from having an elastic band to basically self-harm to having something super positive and super cute on my wrist. Ha 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 ha. So that's the story behind these, and I hope you guys think that they're cute as well. I wasn't sure that you guys would be interested in these at all, so I didn't get very many. I only have 15 for you guys. So if you do want to get one, it's available over on my Depop, which is just Scola Dondo. Depop is like an app where you can purchase anything really, but basically you can get it there. They're only going to be £3, and postage is going to be free if you're based in the UK, and just £1 if you're international or anything like that. And yeah, it's just a nice little reminder for you to stay healthy and stay luscious and stuff like that. But if you guys miss out on getting one and you really like them, or you'd like me to make more, do let me know and I'd be happy to do so. I hope you guys don't feel like I'm shoving merch down your throats and you have to buy them and give me money. You don't. I just thought it was a cute idea, and I hope you guys think it's cute too. But anyway, moving on into this topic for today. So basically, I'm going to be telling you guys my story with restricting, binging and purging, and you know, it's really difficult. I very rarely talk about this. I don't, and I don't think it's just an awkward thing to talk about because you just feel so silly for having done it that you don't want to talk about it and reveal that you did something that's so silly, yet it is actually very common. Like, a lot of people do this, and it's time to kind of talk about it. So my weight loss journey, all in all, was actually very healthy, which I'm very happy about, because it would have been terrible if most of my journey was just filled with unhealthy stuff. But it was a really healthy journey. I ate enough for my body, I exercised, I never pushed myself. There was just this very weird dark period at the end of my weight loss journey. I think I was around 16, 4 years ago. I'm so old now. I was around 16 and I lost weight and I was fine. I'd hit my goal, but then I had this problem where I wasn't happy because all along I'd been trying to chase this ideal perfection and happiness, being the perfect girl, being super happy, my life being perfect, but it just wasn't like that. And so I kept losing weight because I thought, okay, maybe if I keep losing weight, I'll be happy, right? And so I kept losing weight, and then it got very dark because the more I lost weight, obviously the more difficult it gets. I was actually very skinny at the time. I was not like underweight or anything, but for my body type and my body, I could tell I was just losing weight very much. And the first place you can tell that I lose weight is my collarbones. Right here, it's just the smallest part of me where I carry the least amount of fat. And it just got to the point where literally they were just popping out, and I was just like, that's cool, gonna keep going. I remember just deciding to start restricting, and it got really bad. I was eating under 1,000 calories. I remember there was one day I was super proud of myself for managing to eat under 400 calories in a day. 400 calories. That's less than a baby eats. Like, it's ridiculous what I was doing, and I was just so unhappy with my life. There are so many other things going on. I mean, if you guys have watched my Why I Was Obese story, you'd kind of know kind of the stuff that I went through. I'll leave a link to that video down below because it'll kind of explain why I went down this road. I don't know if I was doing it for attention-seeking purposes or if I was just seeking happiness. Honestly, I couldn't tell you what exactly led me to do this, but definitely I was just getting caught up with the whole wanting to be happy and thinking weight loss was the key to that, because I'd had so much happiness already from the weight I'd lost before. You know, I just noticed I was getting more male attention, and I was just getting a lot more compliments and people saying, wow, Scola, you look so different. And I wanted that. I kept wanting that because it made me feel good. And it only made me feel good for a second though, so I kept going, so people would keep praising me. The restricting started, but the problem is restricting is always followed by binging. And on top of that, I was always a binger. My problem growing up, and why the reason I was obese in the first place, was because I used to binge, I used to emotional eat, and that was my problem. And so obviously it came back full force. I managed to restrict for quite a while and kept dropping the weight, and then the binging started. I kept binging, and then, you know, I was gaining weight again, and I felt so terrible because I didn't want to gain weight. Like, it was a problem because obviously I was restricting, and that mentally led to me binging, and it was a problem I already had. So then I would move on to purging, and if you don't know what that means, it's basically where you make yourself sick to get rid of how horrible you feel, to get rid of the food. And you know for a fact that that isn't actually helping. Purging doesn't actually ever help. In fact, because you can't actually get rid of everything you've eaten, no matter how much you try, your body's already soaked in a lot of what it needs before you can get it back up. So it never helps anyway. And you know this, you know all the science behind it, you know all the facts that what you're doing is stupid, it's bad for your body, it doesn't even help what you want it to help anyway, but you'll keep doing it because you just want to get rid of the guilt, you want to get it out. And that's what I started doing. And it was a cycle of me doing this, and it was a time where I was very alone. My dad was away, my mum was working very hard, and my sister was away at uni, so I had spent quite a lot of time at home, so it gave me that privacy to kind of follow this dark cycle. And don't think this was anyone's fault for not like looking after me and making sure I wasn't doing this. It wasn't. One thing I will always say on my channel is that I have never been diagnosed with anything. I feel like I've always been borderline a lot of stuff just due to childhood trauma, due to things I've been through. I think it's very easy for me to fall into certain habits and bad habits. I don't know why, it just happens, but I don't think I ever have one thing. And that was the same with my restricting, binging and purging. Like, yes, it was very destructive, very similar to what would happen if you had an eating disorder, but I managed to gain control, and I'm still in control today. I still suffer from binging, but I have not purged, I have not restricted at all in a very long time. So that's a real positive. So, you know, when I'm talking about this, I'm not an expert on eating disorders or anything like that. I'm just an expert on what Scola went through and just trying to stop you guys from ever going through something similar. So that's what I'm talking about today. Anyway, so basically that was a cycle I went through, and then, you know, there was a couple of weeks where I just started thinking, this is really stupid, Scola, you need to stop. And that's when I made my very first weight loss video about my weight loss. Hey, it's Scola, and when I was 14 years old, I decided to start losing weight. I'm 16 years old now and it's taken me quite some time to work up the nerve to make this video, but yesterday, the 23rd of March 2012, I woke up finally feeling good about myself and finally felt like I could actually make this video. At the time I was eating healthier and I kind of got out of the cycle. Something got me out of that cycle. That's the problem, is I couldn't tell you guys the one particular thing that got me out of the cycle that I was in, because so many things played a part in it. And it is why I constantly try and promote you guys to love yourself now and to get happy with yourself now. Have a positive weight loss journey. Get other people involved. Doing it alone is great, but it can also be very dangerous, because when you're going through these things, you're very alone and you just get swept up with your own emotions. You don't have someone to talk you out of it. So it's always good to have somebody that you can talk to about your weight loss journey. And I had no one at the time because no one else was in this space. I was. It's not like now where we have this kind of fitness trend going on, which is great, by the way. When I started losing weight, people weren't talking about kale and chips, you know, like kale and chips. People weren't talking about kale and superfoods and stuff like that. People weren't talking about CrossFit back in my day when I started losing weight. People were still talking about pizzas and burgers on the regular, and it was mainstream, and you could proudly take a picture of your pizza without anyone judging you, like, you know? So it was a very different time online where I was getting most of my information from, so it was very difficult to find positive things, but I did find positive things, and that's what inspired me to become a positive voice when it came to health and fitness. That's why I started making my videos, and I kept making them, because at the time I started, there was literally not many people positively talking about health and fitness and weight loss and mixing it in with a healthy lifestyle where you're allowed to have a cheat meal, you're allowed to do all of that. Yeah, but I just want to get across to you guys that it's very easy in a weight loss or fitness journey to fall into unhealthy habits, and I want you guys not to do that. And that can be anything from under eating to overeating. That's anything from not training enough to training too much, you know. Even though I do regret that time in my life, I'm still so thankful for it, because I wouldn't be able to sit here today and tell you guys my experience. Like, you know, when I was going through my weight loss journey and my fitness journey, I was thinking, why am I going through this? Like, why is it so tough? Why is it so hard? Why do I feel so alone? I had no idea what was planned for me. I didn't know what my destiny was meant to be. I didn't know that one day I'd be sitting in front of thousands of people, helping them to make sure they didn't do what I did. And I'm happy I went through that time, because it means I can sit here today and tell you what I went through and stop you guys from having to go through that pain. So yeah, I might have gone through that pain, but at least I can say maybe at least I've stopped one other person from going through that pain just by watching this video and knowing that you don't need to do all of that kind of negative and unhealthy stuff, you know? Don't fall into that cycle. It's not healthy, it's not right. And I just want to tell you guys my story with that, because it's one thing I haven't spoken about yet, and I just want to talk about it because I don't want someone else to go through that. I don't want someone else to feel like they need to go in that direction, because you don't. So yeah, that was today's topic on Motivation Monday. Just to remember to love yourselves, look after yourselves. You deserve the world, and don't think you deserve anything less, you know? But yeah, that was today's Motivation Monday. I hope it didn't bum you guys out too much, but I just want to share my story with you guys and what I went through and stuff like that. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay healthy, stay luscious, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. I'd give you guys an update so you guys know what's going on with my life now. So I will not be going to university this year. I bought at home, so I'm just using this old dumbbell that I had. You can use water bottles or anything else heavy that will